I agree. And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I am your host, Ray. With me as always, we have Father
Yo,
and we got Shining Wolf.
Shine on. What's going on, everybody?
All right. Gentlemen, how we doing today?
Good, good. Just
Okay.
beating Avengers
First,
story mode.
yeah. He, he just beat Avengers story mode before the game comes out. I think that's really great. Speaking of Marvel, I wanted to talk the first, even though I didn't write this down and I should have, and I was going to talk about it anyway. I wanted to talk about the tragic death of Chadwick Boseman. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, aka Black Panther, Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Thurgood Marshall, all of that. The man died from colon cancer, obviously stage four. Um, and the one thing, and this is kind of like what I wanted to talk about because I've been seeing tweets like, I don't know if y'all ever saw the picture, like the last image a lot of people saw of him where he was like really, really skinny. And a lot of people was basically saying that I don't know if people was really bullying or joking, but a lot of people saying was they like he was online bullied, and I was thinking like, and it says people like you don't know what they was going through and all that other stuff. So in my opinion, I've always said, well, I'm pretty sure he didn't want people to feel sorry for him that he had stage four cancer. Otherwise, he would have told people. Even though I don't think he was looking for sympathy anyway. But I've always like kind of looked at that really weird about that. I don't know. What do you think, Shining Wolf?
Oh, what you say?
Okay. Like how he had stage four colon cancer and nobody knew except for his immediate family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of tweets about saying like you never know what someone could be going through. You should be, which
Yeah.
look, the being nice and everything I agree with, but um the problem I had with it is just that I felt like if you'd have told, y'all have just felt sympathy for him, and all that thing was sorry. Y'all have just felt sorry for him, and I felt like um
He ain't want that.
maybe
He obviously
yeah,
didn't
he
want that.
didn't want y'all to feel sorry for him. I don't know what you think.
That's why he kept it to himself. He kept it to himself so he can live out rest of his day. Well, I heard like a bunch of different articles saying a bunch of different stuff. I heard that he actually believed that he could beat the cancer though. That's what I read in certain journals that he believed that he could beat the cancer. So I guess maybe he was just keeping it to himself, just so I don't know, just so he could feel normal. I guess he didn't want to be have no pity party for him. I guess.
that's exactly what it was. I feel like.
I
Hmm.
was about to say, I was about to ask Father, did you hear the question or did you?
Um, I just feel like in a way he just wanted to give his gift to the world and then just peace out. Honestly, because I felt like by the time he got his diagnosis, there was really no point in trying to fight it that hard if he discovered it late because he discovered it 2016. So and by that time it was already kind of late. So he just kind of like resigned to his fate and resolved himself to just empower myself.
Dion just joined in the chat. Dion, how you doing?
What I miss?
We was just talking about it, we just started. We was just talking about Chadwick Boseman. Basically, I didn't put this in the thing to talk about, but I did want to talk about it. You seen them like basically you seen the post when he was talking about how he was being online bullied because he looked skinny. Most of the last people's vision they saw, because they say he was being bullied. I was thinking like well, he didn't tell nobody. Maybe he didn't want sympathy for people like to say about cancer, because you know how like when you say stuff like you have HIV or cancer, everybody just feels sorry for you or something like that. What do you think?
Um, I don't really know what to say about that, but you know, only thing I can really put toward that, and I posted this on Facebook. Out of all the things that Chadwick Boseman did, all the performances he gave us in these movies and whatever, like his best performance has to be just stepping out into the world, doing everything he did, achieving all of his accomplishments or whatever, and completely disguising the fact that he was slowly dying. Like that, to me, that's his greatest performance.
Right. Because he was doing all that stuff in the Black Panther and stuff, where he was sick the whole time. That's wild.
I pers- I personally don't think. Well, the thing is, I'm pretty sure there was jokes. I seen. Okay, I saw one joke about him being skinny, and they compared them. Y'all remember the PJs, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. The homeless dude from the PJs and all that other stuff. That's the one joke I saw, and it was probably because of the beard more than less than him being skinny. But like others, I thought he was preparing for a role because I don't want to say he's a method at this, but I feel like someone that's as serious as for his craft, he's probably just doing it for a role that because a lot of people do get skinny for roles, a lot of people get big for roles, so a lot of
Yeah,
people do that. So I just figured that was just him being an actor. But I don't want to say he was online bullied. He was because he would have said something about it. To me, he was. I don't because I don't want to use that word, but I guess a lot of people throw themselves in there. That's how I feel like a lot of people like probably just throw themselves in there because not a lot of people could take online bullying. Tell you the truth.
They self. You think they were self projecting?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and one thing I said about this, and it was the same way with like Etica's death. And we've let's be honest, we've seen this in the chat too. When you're grieving, one of the ways you grieve, you kind of like lash out at people, like how Etica's death, where like even though it was suicidal, and a lot of people, they have their thoughts on suicide, and a lot of his friends had to defend how good of a person Etika was and him going through things and all that other stuff. I feel like it was the same way with Chadwick Boseman's death. It was just like you can't say nothing negative. I know we say don't speak ill about the dead, but if it even sounds negative, I felt like a lot of people was just wanted to lash out at people or just lash out at people that really didn't think he was like true Chadwick Boseman's fans, where really no one's really saying nothing. And if
I
anything,
think
they're
I
just
think that's the case with what's his name from Power with that one post.
oh, Amari
Omari
Hardwick.
Hardwick.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because I don't think he said nothing bad either. But I feel like there are people that just like when they grieve, they want to lash out at something, especially if someone is really like I don't well if either really close to them or that person really was like a big impact on your life or something like that. I feel like there are people like I said, even though it's not even bad, it may sound bad in your ear, or you even mention his name, you might want to lash out at him, is something like that. Because to me, Amari Harvard was his competitor. They're both actors. They're both in the acting field, and he didn't say nothing negative, if anything. And a lot of people said, "Oh, you made this about you." It was just like, no, he was just telling the story. But I don't know. How'd you
right.
felt about it, Dion?
I, okay, I said when I shared it in our group chat, and I was like, I don't know what to make of this. You know, I feel like for those who are actually like coming back at him talking shit, now that you actually break it down the way you did, the post was kind of misread by the public, at least the ones who came out and they was saying the shit they were saying about Amari, which unnecessary, but you know how people are, you know how social media is.
Oh,
That's
Mm.
that.
Okay. Before we move on to our next topic, do y'all want to say anything else about Chadwick Boseman? Like give your eulogy or something about the man.
I want to say anything.
I'm smoking one to him right now. So R.I.P. to the great Chadwick Boseman. This one is for you.
Both won. Anyone else?
Yep.
I'm gonna just, okay. I'm gonna just say, you, hey, for the very short time you was here, you actually inspired a lot of positive things for Black people and Black community, and especially doing roles that you felt like it put Black people in a good spot and not in a negative spot. Um, I feel like no one will ever. I think no one will ever probably fill the shoes. Because I know everybody's talking about like what are they doing about Black Panther. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that right now. What they're gonna do with the Black Panther rogue, I'm pretty sure. Because from what I hear, Marvel didn't even know he had facial cancer. So
Probably done.
um, I would just say rest in peace, and hopefully your legacy will live on, and people will look at you even 10 years down as one of the best to ever do it with the condition you got. Okay. Let me get my bad. Let me get to my notes because I have the
He never yielded. That,
right. He
I'm
never
gonna just
yielded.
leave it at that. He never yielded.
Okay. Okay. That's okay. Desperation, thirst, or don't care session. Okay. Have y'all heard about the chick that like sucked off seven NBA play 7 or 8 NBA players in a room and all that other stuff?
Yep.
Mm.
So when I heard, obviously when I heard about that, I was really like in the back of my head it's like these are NBA players. Like y'all really just really just standing in line waiting for some girl to top you off and all that other stuff. And it kind of got me thinking about the way like we kind of look at sex in today's society, especially like for some men because I don't know when if I hear that, someone I knew sucked off 7 men in a it. I'm kind of turned off. I'm not a prude. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a prude, but when I feel like you like something like that, I kind of like don't want to be near you or my sexual and have my sexual energy around something like that. What and but there are some people that really do. Like she had an OnlyFans. It wasn't booming before that, and then after that story, she had a bunch of people on her OnlyFans and all that other stuff. So it's just like, are we really like really thirsty for stuff that I feel like, or for women that's really basic or something like that?
I don't think it's thirsty, cause I don't know. It's kind of like when you explain that, I understand what you mean when you say you don't want no chick that's like done that type of stuff because it's not something you kind of resonate with. You gonna leave that really for like the freaks or whatever. But she a grown woman. She could do whatever she wants. She want to suck 7 niggas. She can suck 7 niggas. Um, I think the problem is a lot of people like to project what type of woman that they want on other women who's not on that. And when you got when you got those type of niggas running around, you can see why a lot of women don't really fuck with niggas nowadays. Cause all you see is niggas just projecting like, oh, you got these bodies, or oh, you do this, or you do that, or you like pegging niggas in the ass, and it's just like if that's what you want to do when you're not with it, then move away. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't always have to be what you want. You feel me? Like they got they shit too. If a girl want to make money, doing some super fetish shit, then that's just what she's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I've seen girls sell fucking pictures of they poop for money. Like niggas out
Yeah,
here is fucking wild. So
that's nasty.
if that's like if it don't resonate with you, then just keep it moving and stay clear away from the women that are on that type of stuff. But it's a new world now. People just gonna do what they want to do. Honestly, niggas have been getting away with a whole lot of shit. Now that women is starting to do it, now you got niggas that want to talk and shit. I'm just like, hey,
I
bro,
ain't no niggas was selling poop.
yeah, hey, bro, if it ain't you, then keep it moving. Yeah. But I
Right.
don't think you're approved because of that. Like,
Anyone else? Because I'm not even mad at her. Because like you said, she gonna do what she gonna do. But it's more or less the men. It's just like really. I don't even like so. I'm like I said. I don't even like looking at bukakis and all that other stuff. But let alone you just like I'm just like seven dudes just really just sat there and just like I can't wait till it get my turn. I was like, God damn, I just but
See, the thing that baffles me is okay, these same cats that are talking shit, if she were to offer them some head, damn well they ain't gonna say no. So it's like you can't diss her knowing damn well if she say she offering you some, you gonna climb right up in there with her. Like I don't get it. That's the main thing I don't understand with this whole thing. Just because you know how certain motherfuckers are.
Yeah, keyword certain.
mm.
I don't think
What you
everybody. I don't think everybody would go for that for real. For real.
yeah, I was about to
I don't
ask
think
what you think,
everybody
Shana
will.
Wolf.
I don't think everybody will. Every dude or most dudes will really go for that. Yeah, I've seen dudes been turned off by chicks who do that type of stuff in real life, in real time, and I heard them talking, and I seen how they reacted to that. They like pretty much walk away. She come up to them, they walk away. I've seen it.
Shit.
I used to have a friend who was a slut like that. Not, yeah, yeah, very similar to that. For real. Had a few really, like at least like four of
Well, damn.
them. Yep.
You know, I think it just leads back to Father's point, and he said this many a times. Men are just better hoes than women. It's just
I guess, yeah.
yeah, because I look, I don't know. I probably maybe it's just I wouldn't even be like because the girl looked proud, like saying that. It was like,
I okay. I gotta ask. In what sense are men better hoes than women?
What do you mean in what sense? We created the
When?
game. We created every single. Dion, think about it.
I don't. I don't
Every
know.
single
I
point.
don't
No,
know.
listen.
I
Every
don't know
single
no
play.
dude that became a millionaire off of just being easy like some of these women have.
Lexington Steel.
That's
Lexington Steel.
He's a porn star. That's different. They
It
get paid
still
the
proves
fuck
my
on
point.
camera.
It still proves my point.
That's a whole
It
other
still proves my
category.
point. It
That's a
still
whole
proves
other
my point.
category.
No,
I'm
it's
not
not.
talking about porn stars. I'm
Is he a
talking
man?
about
Is he a man or not?
yeah, but you talking about a whole
So
porn
there we
star,
go.
dog. Nah,
That's it.
okay.
that's different. That's different. That's different. That's different. If you get if fucking is your profession, then no, this
I'm
category isn't
not.
for you.
No, but
I'm
I'm
talking
not
about
talking about his profession at first. I'm talking about
A
even before
hoe's
he got
fucking
porn.
a hoe's
Smoke like this.
prostitution is a whole
Like
profession. What do
coffee.
you
When I'm
mean?
around people, I take small hits to avoid coughing.
that.
I
Oh,
do not want
okay,
to cough
they're not
at all.
included in this either.
Let me just
Yes,
leave it
they are.
alone.
You
They're
might.
sex workers. What do you mean?
That's sex work.
That,
Sex work came from the conquest
But
of the pussy or the dick. So therefore, like that's all they're gonna do.
but you know that male porn stars
Pimping,
don't get
pimping
paid
is
as much
the
as female
origin
porn
of
stars.
sex work. My bad. Go ahead,
Okay.
Stratty Wolf.
I said, yeah, I do know that male porn stars don't get paid as much as female porn stars, though, right?
Unless
right.
they do gay porn.
Unless they're doing gay porn, exactly, yeah. So females are still better at it in the game. And actually, like females done capitalized on this shit. Males can't. Males have to work to be sluts. Females don't gotta do shit to be a slut, other than open their
I
legs.
I I agree and disagree with that.
Let's go straight
But
to the
when it
shower.
comes to like the relationship side of it, when it comes to
Tim's
the
in the kitchen.
psychology side of it, we created the motherfucking game. We manipulate women's emotions to get whatever the fuck we want. Do we not?
That's if you're the type of dude that can do that. Every dude apparently is not. There's motherfuckers out here who
I
have
mean,
to
yeah,
pay
that's true.
money.
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
have to
that's
pay
true.
another guy money to teach them game, to teach them how
I
to deal with women.
I mean, that's
Hey,
true.
that's even look. I honestly, and y'all can get back to this. If you have to pay another nigga to teach you how to talk to women, that's even better. That's even more game to the dude than it is to the women because you got to go to another nigga to teach you
There,
game when
there.
you
Chicken
could
leg was good.
learn for free.
Do it.
But if
This
you ain't got it
pimping,
though, if you ain't
pimping
got
ain't
it,
free.
then you ain't got it.
Go
If you
ahead.
don't got
Go
it,
ahead.
if you don't have it, you don't have it though. Yeah, I mean, you can listen to all the seminars and all the like YouTube shit and read all the books you want to. If you don't have it, you don't have it. You have to be constantly put out of your comfort zone for that.
Yeah, but what he was saying is you kind of prove the point because
How
if
you
men
doing?
have to like,
How you
well,
doing?
as I was saying, like if the men can teach it to other niggas that ain't got it and they end up getting it, that just proves that we wrote the game first. Because you said a woman don't really have to work for it as much as a man do, so that kind of proves his point.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I'm
because
saying like,
God just kind of come up with women and
yeah,
they
we
pick and
came, we
choose and
came
run
up
with
with it.
it. Yeah,
And the thing about it is, we came up with it, but women like when they get it way better than the men. But the men, like historically, we've been doing that shit. Like they
that's what
the
that's what I
concept of
do.
marriage was kind of behind that shit too. Think about that.
I'm sorry. Oh, I miss feeling
Mm.
like this, bro.
I mean, pimping ain't easy. I just say that. It's nah, for real. Like I remember watching American Pimp when they tell you it's like because you know how like it was this whole thing about pimps used to hit women and all that stuff, and then I don't know if anybody's seen American Pimp, but they tell you I don't even have to hit a I don't even have to hit a bitch. I can make a bitch out of drawers if I can. I don't even have to raise my motherfucking hand on them. Uh, but it's just but I
Like
feel like
skill.
well, especially when it comes to sex work and all that other stuff, it's just like OnlyFans, like their pimp is the website to me. Like you still to me, like yes, they're sex workers and yes, they do it for their own, but their pimp is the website because if it wasn't for their website, they wouldn't be able to make this type of money, and they still got to give some of their money to the
Right.
website, so you know they can.
Right.
Make, so it's like
I
it's
need my
always a pimp, and I, for some, but I think for this one, because I think the creator of OnlyFans is a woman, so the woman is a pimp. But I'm pretty sure she knows that we all say the same thing: sex sells. So we know that niggas is that if they're desperate for it, they'll give up everything for it.
yeah. You remember
So
that's historical though. They used to have male female like they used to be like old whores, but when they got older they couldn't it wasn't really lucrative to be a whore no more because they was old. So they would be
the
like I guess the maiden of the house or whatever. And they would be
those
like
are what you call a bottom bitch. That's your bottom bitch. Well, go ahead.
Facts.
don't you have to have like a male pimp or to be the bomb bitch?
What he's referring to that basically that female is now the pimp. She too old to do the fucking herself basically. So now she got the young ones doing it for her. She basically the pimp.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's managing.
She has to learn the game from somebody. I've always said that everybody gotta learn the game from somebody, but you know, some people do. Honestly, some people do have it. Some people don't have to work hard for it. Some people do, but you know, you got. All I know is you learn the game from somebody.
Mm.
Is it?
I
But
seen some chicks out here pimping niggas too though. In a
Shit.
niggas are
different way
easy
though.
to pimp. The funny thing is, dudes are easy to pimp. That's why it was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we
they are.
have things like strip clubs and all the other stuff. Getting
I
money from dudes is not that hard.
I was
A
seeing
pretty
chicks
girl
get
can ask
money.
you for $1 right now and don't have to give you pussy. Some niggas, 9 out of 10 niggas will give it to her
A
without
dollar.
question.
I give a homeless
I
guy.
know.
Something must be wrong with me then. If I ain't fuck
I
you, I
said
ain't
nine
giving
out
you
of ten.
shit.
9 out of 10, because you probably ask questions. And father, you know, he's African, so he's going to say no off the break. So
He said we don't.
We don't do that here.
we don't do that here.
But I've seen girls that I know girls now. There's girls I know now that get money out of a nigga and don't be giving them shit. They ain't giving them pictures. They ain't giving them as they give them the illusion that they might get it one day. And niggas
Shit.
be buying these girls shit, taking them on trips, paying for their trips. I'm like, goddamn, that's pimping right there.
To me, this is why I believe in sexual coercion. This is actually why I don't think sexual coercion is rape. I don't know if you ever heard people say sexual coercion is rape because a
Yep.
woman can use their women could use their pussy as a reward for a nigga to spend money on them, and she don't have to give it up at
at all.
all, at
That's
all.
coercion.
So no, yeah, I know from one side because a lot of women say sexual coercion is rape. And I'm like, you say that, but you're only looking at it from one side. Like if your rent is due and he's gonna let you off if you give him some pussy. But let's just say that nigga wants some pussy because the rent is the prize, not the pussy. But if the pussy was the prize, a nigga would do anything just to try to get the prize, and that's coercion. Like if you go fight this nigga, I go give you some pussy and shit. I was like, that's why I say a lot of people who say that is really dishonest about coercion.
Coercion is pretty much convincing a chick to give you pussy when otherwise they wouldn't. Like a
Yeah, I remember I went on this date with this one girl, and I promised her I was gonna give her a new purse, but for some reason. And I did because I always, I don't like breaking promises. So I was like, all right, I get you a purse. Purse didn't cost that much, but for some reason she had, I don't know why she told me, but because even though I wasn't going to do it anyway, she was like, a man spent $300 on a date once, and I still didn't give him some. And I'm like, well, I'm not spending $300 on you. And then after I bought the purse, she goes, "You know what? I could go with it." And I pushed her ass outside the store. I said, we going." She said, "You not doing that." That's it. But I don't know. Some people,
And
I think,
see, yeah.
I
they'll
think
run
you
game
know
on
game. I think you know game when you see it.
they'll run game on your ass. They good at it too. Especially if these guys a little bit more softer around the edges.
Honestly,
see,
this is why I tell men to go to strip clubs because no, for real, because in strip club you see like what game looks like in a strip club, especially if it's run by a woman.
Mm.
Like some girls really hustle for it, and some girls this is just like they're just pretty. You'll just go to them. But I see a lot of strippers that are pretty, but also they know that another girl may be prettier or she may be getting more dances. She'll just they'll go to them. They'll hustle harder just to get that dance from you than just the pretty face. So
Hey, hey, Craig. You remember 30th birthday party at DMC and Buster?
yeah,
Now there was a now don't say no names, but do you remember that light skinned girl with the fat ass?
yeah, yeah. What the
Yeah,
f- that is.
man, she run games. She run game on niggas all the time. I've seen her do
She pretty though. I can see her running games, and
it. Man.
it's probably them niggas that be playing DDR.
shit.
No, because she was good at DDR. One thing I'm not gonna say it. I can't honestly. I tell you the truth. I don't really know her name like that. I seen her on Facebook. If I see her on Facebook, I'll be like, "Oh, her," but I don't know her name specifically. But girl, I say she pretty. She got a fat ass. She can run some game. You know that shit.
I was watching her run game with all these niggas, and then I would see if she would try to run the game on me, and I don't buy the shit. I and then I end up getting her to buy me shit though. Like
Well,
she bought me
there's
my
some
first
pictures in your
3DS,
blood.
my first 3DS.
Hey,
Hey, there's some pimping in your blood. There, you getting her to buy you a 3D.
But all these niggas, she getting these niggas taking out strips, to buy this, buy that, all types of shit. But that's probably because she was actually attracted to me. I don't know if she was obviously wasn't attracted to those other dudes, because if she was, she would have been giving them pussy for the shit. Not just playing with me. Because it's funny though, because I would go to like conventions and then people be like, "Oh, you still talk to what's her name?" I was like, "No, I haven't talked to her in a minute." And they're like, "Oh, what happened? What happened this time?" I was like, "Oh shit, what are you talking about?" And then he'd be talking about how each one of these dudes would tell me that she was running game on them and shit. And I was like, "Well, damn. Well, I could kind of see that."
oof.
Hey, yo, father, you should probably teach all these dudes the power of no.
The power of no,
Bruh.
the power of no.
See, this is why I'm glad I was I grew up primarily around females.
You know, you could.
Same.
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I mean, yeah, I got three
Oh,
sisters myself, but
if you actually pay attention, you can learn a lot. When I
no. I got
man,
three sisters and a mother too. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I know, like, at the same time, I know you recognize game when you see it. It's just like to
man,
me,
I've
I
watched
can
the women
recognize.
in my
I think
family handle niggas. I watch how they
like
handle
handle
niggas. I see how they talk to certain motherfuckers. I seen how they treat like one particular nigga compared to the next motherfucker. It's you be motherfucking amazed. And then every guy should have at bare minimum one or two platonic friends, at least one or two. Nothing sexual or romantic between them, just you and this particular female, cool. You know, just so you got someone to be like, hey, look, such and such is up to no good. Such and such is trying to game you. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's,
Mm-hmm.
it's always good to have at bare minimum one.
Right.
I have several, but it's always good to have like at bare minimum one.
I agree with that.
I agree with that too, but the thing is, niggas be game goofy out here. And women be game goofy too, because they don't peep that the niggas game goofy. Like, shit.
Okay, that's a new one on me. What's Gang Goofy?
Oh,
You want to
I,
explain that one, or should I?
I got it. I got it. So yeah, game goofy is just a nigga that's like he can't talk, or like when he get around women, he don't conduct himself in a certain way. So women don't pick up on that shit sometimes, and it's just like you letting the default yo hood nigga shit get you instead of like actually looking at the nigga character. It's like
Ah,
you're more interested in his acting than his actual character.
like
So when
the
that actual
performance.
character comes to show out, then all of a sudden they ain't shit, but you ain't peep it at first. So you just as game goofy as him.
You wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
They like the performance, the play.
they like the performance and they like what they get from the performance because they the ones getting the awards. They're the ones getting their foods paid for, and if they want a mani or pedicure done, they can do that shit. Like that nigga will pay for it.
Hmm.
See, here's the thing. Chris Rock described it best when he said this in his one show on Big and Blacker. When you first meet a woman, you not meeting her, you meet her motherfucking representative.
Oh yeah, I remember that joke.
And he
That shit is
also
so accurate.
Chris Rock also said that men cannot go back sexually and women cannot go back in lifestyle. Now that shit killed me.
That it's
That's
true.
big thing.
It's
Yeah,
That
fucking
is big
true.
thing.
yeah.
That was the most brilliant shit I've ever heard like a comedian say, honestly.
But it's facts, nigga.
Also, dudes, beware because in one of your girlfriends, they always got one nigga for everything. You might fall into one of those categories,
uh,
depending on what skills you have.
Until they find a dude that was better than they last as far as lifestyle, probably
Right,
oh,
and other things too.
oh, but
right.
see that's why. Oh, but see that's why these days you gotta be a jack of all trades if you really wanna get any motherfucking win, especially
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes to a female. You gotta be a jack of all trades.
If you don't deal with
I've
these,
always said you got to be the prize.
yeah,
That too.
you got to be on point. If you're not on point, then you might as well hang it up.
Yeah, but that's why a lot of niggas who fuck a nigga who fucks a lot of girls is game goofy to me, cause you fucking it up. Cause now you the one nigga that is gonna build on top of that stereotypical nigga that's already in their head. You part of a conglomerate, bro.
How many is a
Okay.
lot?
Okay. Let me answer that by saying this. I think there should be like a age to body ratio you to consider. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Do you
you
really want to know a girl's body count, Dion?
And you're talking about the girl.
I don't ask for specifics. I don't ask for specifics like that. Especially
No.
it no, I never ask for specifics like that. But for me it's more of okay, the more I learn about you as a person, that's how I determine XYZ. What you what you did before me, pretty much unless someone gave you some shit that I don't want, then you know. Other than that, no, I'm not about to ask them questions. A female shouldn't ask a man them questions. That's they who how many people a person has slept with before they got to you. That's their business. That's the motherfucking past.
Surprised I've been asked that
If
question quite a few times.
if a motherfucker decides to get their feelings hurt or whatever by asking someone that question, that is entirely on their head.
hmm That's true. Very true.
Yeah. First of all, I tell dudes don't ask that question because you're never gonna like the answer. Even if she
Right.
say two, she can say two, you wouldn't like that fucking answer.
If a chick said two, I'd be like, wow, like, hmm,
Huh.
must be Catholic or something.
And
Like,
Yo, you probably say this. Some niggas like, in the words of father, they be gang goofy. You be like anything above five, they'll probably think like I do agree with women when they say this. It's like if you sleep with more than one man, that dudes for some reason think you a hoe, and it's like, and I say I agree. I do think a lot of dudes be like really pressing, and they like have like 10
and that
bodies on their. And
and
but
them
if you let you
and
have
them
two,
niggas and them be the immature or insecure type motherfuckers.
yeah. If a chick told me she had five partners, I'd be like, damn, you must, you must really be,
She picky.
must be very picky, right? Exactly. Like she must be picky or something.
Nah,
Because
I'm picky as shit.
I know girls out here, they got like they be asking me what my count is, and then I, of course, uh, ask the question, or they just give me the answer, and they be like, fucking. And this is when they was 25. Uh, they be giving me answers like fucking 20, 25 and shit. I'm like, damn, what you been fucking since you was like 15 or something?
I know bitches that started fucking at 12.
12, yeah, I know those too.
Shit.
Well, at least they claim that they did.
I know the nigga they fucked at age 12. The fuck?
I
that's
know,
sad.
I know
That
That
niggas
is
is sad.
younger than that.
Hell
But
no.
that is really
It's real in Brooklyn. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway,
no. I get you, but there's people like that around here. I know a couple people that had sex before they hit puberty and shit. I was like,
Oh.
that wasn't molested, by the way. But even then, it was like, really?
I
Yeah, it's just
repeat,
like.
it's real in Brooklyn. The fuck?
Listen, but I guess this leads into my next question because obviously we talking about like body counts and all that other stuff, and a lot of people when they was heard about homegirls sucking off seven eight dudes, and all that other stuff, and you get your standard dudes talking about this is why I don't want to have daughters and all that other stuff. I'll be honest, I used to be one of the dudes that say this and all that stuff, and then I just kind of grew out of it because obviously I don't want my son partaking in that either. So it's just like, but I wanted to ask y'all, like, Dion, obviously you have a child, and do you
I
raise your
got a
son?
son and I got a
Do
daughter
you?
on the way.
Yeah, you got a son and a daughter in a way. So obviously the question is, would you or do you raise your son different from your daughter?
oh, would you?
No.
No,
Really?
would you care to explain? Like,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. When you
go
pose that
ahead.
when you pose that question, the term double standards comes to mind. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit here and you tell your son, oh, shop around, you give him tips on how to pick up women and all this other stuff. And meanwhile, you talk to your daughter and you trying to scare her away from talking to dudes and shit like that. Come on, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Daughter got a male classmate she hang out with. You trying to chase him off and shit. Come on, man. What's that about? See, a question. A question I seen someone put up on I think it was Instagram or Facebook. Would you want your daughter dating a nigga like you?
I would.
And then
I
Mhm.
but
would. I would.
but see, y'all can say that and it's no issue though, because you know what I'm saying. Y'all are good dudes. I know y'all. See,
I
me
ain't got no.
personally, it became a thing of for one, that's a reality. That's a bit of a reality check, especially for a motherfucker who's out in these streets doing dirt. When it comes to females, you know what I'm saying. Now, the best thing that I could say to that is teach teach your teach each of your kids, your son, your daughter, teach them the game.
Right, right,
Plain and
right.
simple. Teach them how this shit works. Teach them how shit go. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the reason I'm glad I grew up around as many women as I did, my mom, my aunt, my grandmother, all of they, friends and shit. Again, I learned a lot being around these women. I peeped a lot of shit. You know, also reason I said, okay, keep you some actual like female, platonic friends. They teach you shit. You know, teach teach your daughter. Okay, I'm not gonna. But me personally, anyway. When my daughter hits a certain age, I'm not going to tell her, who and who not to talk to. But I am going to give her the knowledge of how to determine when a motherfucker is trying to sweet talk her. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give her. I'm gonna make sure she has enough knowledge to know when a motherfucker is trying to g her. Same thing. Same thing. With my son. I'm going to make sure he knows. Oh, when the chick is trying to play him, trying to do some what, seduce him, whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That that's the problem right there. People are too busy trying to protect and shelter their damn kids. Teach them about the fucking world,
Teach them how to survive it.
right?
Don't
You
teach them.
because they're not going to be kids forever. They're eventually going to have to step out into this motherfucker and live life.
So true. But not
Anybody else
teach
want
them
to
to be
jump in
good
on this?
forever.
I don't know. I'm just hearing everything y'all saying, and it's like it's really layers to this shit.
Yeah, it's layers. It's not clean cut answers
Um,
to these things.
okay, here's what I think. I think Dion, at one point you're right. You don't want to instill double standards in your child, but I do think there are some things that only a woman should know, or a woman could teach a woman, like a mother could teach a daughter. And I feel like
Right,
there's
right.
some things that a man could teach a son, that only a man could teach a son, because
Facts.
where that's where I feel like you got to split it, because obviously I've said this. I wouldn't want my daughter to have sex at 16, but at the same time I don't want my son to have sex at 16 either, because if God forbid if they bring a child in, one has to take care of the child for the rest of their lives, and the other one don't really have to, but at the same time he might have to pay child support, and child support, most people don't tell you, child support's a motherfucker. You kind of, I mean, people do tell you that, but a lot of men don't understand it until they
It's
get a
one of
child.
it,
And
it, it, it yeah, it's one of those things you don't understand the magnitude of that shit until you got to go through that shit.
right. And the one thing I've always said, because a lot of women is like, oh, we don't. A lot of women said they're like protected and coddled. I've always said, well, the sons They don't get protections for nothing. They have it's like three damn near like you know how 300 they send their kid out in the wild to fight for themselves
Mm-hmm.
and they have to
Mm-hmm.
come back and they come back they're a man or some shit like that. It's like
They don't come back
not
either.
to not to the point of 300, but it's something like that. Like sometimes men we
Right.
don't they send little boys out with no knowledge of the world or some
No
shit,
knowledge.
and they have to
No.
figure it out on their own and all that stuff. I'm just like, that's why I feel like you get some of these people that don't know shit, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why I feel like you get kids raising kids and all that other stuff. So
Right.
I've always said, I understand some girls don't want to be coddled or protected. I say, at least you get that. It's like, especially if you have a father in your life, at least you get that. Some young boys don't get that. Like, I don't mind too. I mean, at one point, I don't mind it because I do feel like I've always said, yes, it's cool to have a safe space, but sometimes you got to jump out your safe space to know what the real world is like and all that other stuff.
Hell
So I
yeah.
feel like there's pros and cons of both of that. So but at this like when it comes to things like I guess sex, I feel like yes, there should be no double standards. Your 16-year-old boy shouldn't be having sex, and your 16-year-old daughter shouldn't be having sex. But I feel like there are some things you need to teach. A mother should teach their daughter, and I feel like some things your father should teach your son.
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. But
And
to add to that though, shoot, that's a big part of why it's so many fucked up, you know, fucked up people out here. You got a lot of men who's out here, all fucked up in the world, doing all kinds of stupid wild shit. You know, the first thing they ask, who raised these motherfuckers? That's always one of the first questions that get asked, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
hmm How many, how many motherfuckers? And then see, I don't want to bring race into the shit, but especially amongst blacks or whatever, like it's a lot of times pops ain't part of the equation.
Right. Yeah, that's a big problem.
You know,
One of the biggest
again,
problems.
don't want to again, like I said, don't want to bring race into this particular subject, but it's it's part of it's something that has to be factored in, sadly.
But these days, even if you did, like these days, even if you did, like the father from his generation wasn't really brought up by anybody but his mom, so you gonna have problems there too,
Yeah,
even if he
this
is in the
this is
house.
true. It and it's a lot of motherfuckers out here that are the product of toxic parenting.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So many, like Father said, so many layers when you talk about this type of shit.
which is why I kind of like broken down like we just got to understand the difference between double standards and what we specifically should tell our kids depending on
Yeah. Then
who or what they are.
But I will say this though, same way, like the same way I'm gonna tell my daughter, look, you got cats out here that's gonna they're gonna try to kick all these sweet words to you, and all the other shit they're gonna try to run game on you, sweet talk you into doing XYZ for them and this that and the third. I gotta tell my son, hey, look, you can't be out here, what I'm saying, lying to these girls, talking them any kind of way, just to get what you want. Always be real with whoever it is you're dealing with, whoever you're talking to. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but it needs to be said.
I mean, you have a point, but at the same time, it's like you. A lot of them they're gonna see what works because that's why a lot of dudes when you say nice guy how the whole nice guy finished last thing and how like niggas like Future be getting a bunch of dudes, but like the nice guy and all that stuff don't be getting no play at all. But the niggas so a lot of the nice guys be acting like assholes and shit. So it's just like they're going to see what works. So that's why I feel like also as a parent you got to be the you got to show and tell. Like if you don't want them to do like none of the nonsense that they doing, you kind of like don't have to do it. You shouldn't be doing the nonsense either. So, because obviously they look up to you, so you got to set the standard for them. And
See,
well,
see, and
go
then
ahead.
you just reminded me of another quote. Somebody once told me the best thing a father can do for his son is love their mother, and vice versa. Same thing a mother can do for her daughter is love their father, so that they actually see you. You want them to actually see like how a man's supposed to treat a woman, how a woman's supposed to treat a man, all of that good shit.
I think
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing right there. To lead by example. But you know, you get the last generation probably was just as game goofy as this one. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
The last generation was all fucked up, and that's why this generation is the way the fuck it is.
I'm
yeah,
saying, bro.
yeah.
It's a vicious cycle, man. It's a vicious cycle.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. That's why I'm hoping this generation to be able to break it. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Don't be game goofy.
Don't
Right.
be gang goofy. Um, Obviously, no one here has probably watched the Brandy and Monica versus because I know I didn't, even though
I
I
didn't
like it.
either.
I
Yeah,
watched part of it, and it's just Monica ruined it for me.
she looked bored.
She did
I've
look
seen
bored.
highlights. She
She
looked
spent
bored.
no, listen. She's literally spent the majority of that shit just throwing shade at Brandy. Brandy was actually trying to do her thing, have fun with it, whatever. I mean, yeah, everyone knows about the little bullshit beef between them, over that song or whatever, and I'm or whatever other issues they have between them. But like, Brandy was actually trying to have fun with the shit, trying to go through the whole thing, and Monica was being a bitch the whole time, man. I couldn't watch that shit. I couldn't stand how Monica was acting towards Brandy.
Honestly, this is why I didn't want this to happen at all. I heard this the first time they spoke in 8 years, so I was like,
God.
Not to
yeah.
mention,
I said it the first time. I said this is probably the only versus battle I don't want because I know there's going to be shade thrown. It's not like it's not like Jill Scott or Erica Badu, which everybody knew that shit was going to be black love and cocoa butter and incense just burning neo soul type of shit. We knew that shit was going to be fire, and it was. It was a classic. Still, like some people's best versus series is in like next to maybe the Beanie Man and Bounty Killer or the DMX and Snoop because everybody enjoyed that one too. But
that was
yeah,
fire. I watched that in its entirety.
yeah, I did too. Just they're basically like your the two oldest uncles at the picnic just having a good ass time. That's basically the vibe of that one. But obviously, all right. Let me get to this next one. It was about this shooting that happened in Los Angeles. Um, Deputy fatally shot Dijon Kizzy, a 29-year-old black man, during confrontation Monday afternoon in South LA, and the thing sparked a protest about it. Now, I guess he had a gun on him on this one, and there was people still out there protesting and all that. I'm not gonna lie, when y'all showed me the video and I looked it up, I kind of felt indifferent about this one. What about y'all?
I ain't know what to think of that shit. I left it the fuck alone. The same thing with the one that just happened in DC. I'm gonna leave that alone.
I didn't even hear about it until now, so I don't really have much to
It,
say.
it's been it's been all over social media. They just released the body cam footage of the cop that shot dude in DC earlier today.
I ain't see it yet.
What's wrong with people on my
I,
social media? They don't talk about these things. I agree.
I guess they don't want to talk about it,
I agree.
or just don't they don't want to be around it. I don't know because I feel like you one thing Shana Wolf, you learn most of your stuff here or like the notes I be sending out and
Mhm.
all that other stuff. So, but other people, yeah, sometimes I'll be
Well,
seeing
you
other people
see,
talk about it too. This one and I learned this from Dion and Father and stuff. Father, you have anything to say about this?
Um, I guess the one thing that I could really say about all that is like the cops, like we know that they reckless. Like we know they trigger happy, especially when it comes to black people. So when I'm seeing like brothers out there, they're trying to protest or not even trying to protest, just out and about, and a cop suspect him or something, and he just happens to be connected, he going to lose his life because like look at the condition that we are in America. We got protests and shit. Like everybody is really on edge. Everybody's divided as shit now. So I feel like when the cops come out and they're trying to do their job and they see like a black kid or whatever just living, it like gets to them because it's like we're enemies right now, literally. So, uh, but like the fact that they died though is what it's not like that's what kind of hurts me because the last brother, he's paralyzed but he's alive. He can speak on it now, and the rest they couldn't speak on it because they dead. So these two brothers dying, it's just like fuck. They're not old though brothers too. They young brothers. Like
I just it's just like okay, and thank God for camera footage and all that other stuff. And I know that people, and I know like I don't want to take it all the way back to George Floyd because for some reason, like months later, they finally released the footage of what happened and all that other stuff. And for the conservatives, it still doesn't justify him being shot. I mean, not shot, but him being having his a neck on him having a neck on it for like 8 minutes. Excuse me, I'm getting my shit mixed up. But it still doesn't justify them killing him and all that other stuff. And that's not like we. And I understand that some the conservatives looking at they've had all these histories and records and all that other stuff, but it's just like what does that have to do? Learn we say this all the time. What does that have to do with the incident that happened right there, right then and there? Like none of his past shit should not really affect what happened then and there, especially if they were or when they not breaking the law and all that other stuff. It's just, but this one, when I first saw it, I felt indifferent because I think he did shoot back. If I'm correct, did he shoot back?
I don't know actually. I thought they said they didn't at first.
Like, well, the thing is, they know like he actually had a gun on him. That's what, but I don't think he shot back. But they knew he had a gun on him and all that other stuff. So, and it's
Mm,
just like when you see story like most of these most of the stories like this when they start out it seems like all jumbled and I feel like a lot of people don't do their due diligence to get a good well thought out story and like when it comes to stuff like this I felt real indifferent about it because it's just like yeah at the police are like looking at the enemies we're looking at policemen as enemies and for some reason we even though like we shouldn't because they're supposed to be there to protect us. And that's the
mhm,
difference between them and gangbangers. We don't look to gangbangers to protect us.
mhm.
Police, that's your job. You're supposed to protect us and all that other stuff. We don't feel protected. When you're around, we feel fear. And like I told everybody, when I used to go to Greenbelt Station, I used to see like cops out there. I don't, even though I don't do no illegal stuff, I'm still afraid. Like
Yeah.
anytime when I see a cop pass me, like I tense up. I don't do nothing. I obey the law just like everybody else, but it's just I feel like one of these days they're just gonna look at me and just fuck with me for no reason or some shit like that.
Right.
It's
Right.
just I shouldn't have that feeling. A lot of people and then I think a lot of white people or other people don't understand that from a black person. It's just like because I could be another Khalid Browder. He didn't
Hmm.
do nothing. He got in jail and he died in jail. And then he was in Rikers Island at like 16 or something like that. That nigga was in Rikers Island and he didn't do nothing. A lot of people don't understand like that's the fear of black men mostly. It's just when I look at this and then when I look at like other stuff is like that, it's just like and this is why we ask, what do especially our generation, we're what do we do to deserve all this type of treatment? Why is it we feel like y'all don't like us? What did we do? As black people, what did we do? You would have thought like we were the bad guys, or we was the one that put the white people in slavery, and this is just y'all getting y'all revenge or something like that. But no, it's just like we've been on the bottom of the totem pole damn near since we got here, and y'all still treated, and it just y'all don't even want to treat us like equals half of the time. It's just like, damn, what the fuck do we do to y'all? This is why like black people are asking this and all that other stuff, and this is why a lot of people feel like even like I said, even with this, the fact that a black man was shot, and I don't know if they was in a right or wrong, but
Mhm.
even then they just they're out there protesting. It's just like this shit is just really it's getting out of fucking hand for people. And also, they wasn't wearing body cams either, from what I'm seeing either. So now we really don't. Some people won't even know what really happened and shit.
Um, I mean, see, like
Go
everything you
ahead.
said, yeah, everything you said was, I feel like it was correct because it has really gotten to the point where you could just look at a cop and just, yo, I could die. Like it's not even me panicking or anything. My first and initial reaction isn't protected. It's I'm about to die. That's some heavy shit. And that's something that like black people as a consciousness that we just have. You know what I'm saying? It's been passed down. Like how they say trauma is passed down. Like this generation isn't the only generation that had an issue with police. Like go back to the 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s. Like it's been happening ever since the police was an institution without fail. So that shit gets passed down, and now we're here. We're saying the same shit, and our kids is probably going to be saying
Yeah.
the same shit too. Like it's
I heard,
it's so heavy.
yeah. I heard Michael Beck saying the same shit, talking about the same issues that we talking about today. Same stuff, different time. Same police
Same
issues.
shit.
Yep. Nothing has really changed. We got recorders now and keep better records of stuff because of our phones and cameras and shit. But it ain't hasn't anything changed really.
They'll lie to you and say it did change though, especially the Trump
Hmm?
supporters.
Oh well.
And I'm just saying, like how they say shit hasn't changed. They'll lie to your face and say it has.
Mhm. That's their ignorance. They don't. They live amongst a bunch of white people. They don't know. They really just don't know what they're talking about. It's mostly ignorance, I believe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but I think it's mostly ignorance because a lot of white people do not live amongst black people, so they don't really keep up with what's going on. They don't really care that much either.
They don't have to go through it, so they're not going to understand it. That's simple.
It's like I heard. It's like I heard some white liberals talking about they think that the law that the voting is biased against black or colored people. I don't know if they meant black people, but because they said they use the word colored, so they could have been talking about like illegal immigrants or something. That makes no sense to me.
Did they
But they
say
was like
people of color or just colored?
people of
Because
color.
they said color, it was like, oh, we back in the '60s. But
Yeah,
Right.
people of color.
people of color, yeah, yeah. I hate that term, by the way. I
Yeah, I
hate.
don't know what they're referring to though, but I know they can't be talking about us because they say, oh, because IDs, people having needing to have an ID to vote is a problem because colored people don't have can't get to the DMV. They don't know what the DMV is and shit like that. And
What?
some black person went around saying, "Brother, do you got an ID? Yeah. Do you have an ID? Yeah. Do you know what the DMV is? It's right down the street." Is that so? What the fuck are you talking about? I give them that they might be talking about Hispanics or Arabs or some shit. I don't know. They didn't. That's why I don't like the word colored people. I could be talking about any fucking body.
That's why, yeah, that's why I hate the term people of color because it feels like they want to talk about black people, but they
They
put
don't want to
other
keep.
races in there since like we call Asian some people call Asian people yellow, or Spanish, they'll take brown.
Mm-hmm.
Spanish and the Arabs, they'll take brown pride and all that other stuff. So a lot of people say people of color. So this is so yeah, just to be inclusive. That's why people always
Right.
say people of color. I've never liked that. All I know is I don't want my future kids to be living in a world where they have to be scared of the police or something like. That's why I feel like a lot of people try to fix for the future in our future
Right.
generation. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
It's just I think people need to understand that black people we're gonna have a way different consciousness from like the people white people in America or any other like ethnic group because of our very unique like problems. Like black
Mm-hmm.
people are the only people in America that cannot be deported. The rest of you motherfuckers can be deported. Y'all come from somewhere. But black people have been here since before America's a country. So like when they speak, they actually know what the fuck they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that
American
people,
black
yeah, like you know what I mean. The fact that other people like try to have a voice on a black consciousness that like they can never fathom is what makes it so annoying.
They'd be like, "We're just like you." I'm like, no, you're not.
No,
No.
you're not.
Nothing like us for real, for real. As far as the struggle, it's like
Right.
they got a totally different struggle and still ahead of us in many ways, as far as like economically and
Yeah,
power,
I
and
was
power
about to say,
structure.
depending where you come from, you might actually get something. You might get benefited from coming in this country and making money.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay. The last topic. I basically call this vibe check because we're in September and we only got 4 months left of 2020. So with
Right.
everything that happened in this year, I just wanted to know, basically, gentlemen, how are we holding up? How do you think we are holding up? Or as the '90s would say, how's my driving? 2020. Who
Uh,
wants to start?
Shit, we going into the fourth quarter. This motherfucker.
yeah. 2020 has been a bitch. Oof.
Shit.
Good for my wallet, but there's so much shit
I,
down with 2020.
man, I don't know how Uncle Murder's gonna sum this shit up. That's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and
Anything
like
in particular in 2020 that y'all loathe or like the most?
Oh shoot. This- oh man. Looking back, I mean, is it weird that I look back on all the bullshit that's going on over the course of the year, and it's like all I can do is laugh.
uh, uh um I thought 2019 was shitty. Let's just start with that. I thought 2019 was shitty, and then 2020 said, "Hold my motherfucking beer."
I felt it.
2019 was actually good to me.
No,
Give
2019 was a
give
shitty year for me. But go ahead.
give
Go ahead.
give or take an occasional, bump, bruise, whatever, whatever. 2019 was good for me. This motherfucker right here, this shit right here, nigga. Oh god.
It's like this is the way you want to start off a new decade. God damn! At least 9/11 happened in 2001. It waited a whole year before that shit popped off.
Dog.
God, oh my God! But Jesus, it's just one thing after another. It's like you get Kobe died, and then all of a sudden we got the Rona, and then next thing you know, it's just people losing their jobs, and then you know for months, some people still ain't get a job, and then just
I'm back working temporarily. I don't know.
congratulations.
I don't know. Keyword is temporarily, man. Come the end of this month, I don't know what the fuck. Man, there's a lot of
It's
bullshit going on in my workplace right now, dog.
exactly what I'm saying. It's just like you got that going on, then the killings, and then like more of our favorite celebrities dying, like Kobe and Chadwick Boseman, and it's just like it just keeps going and going and going. And I would just say this, like, because also the election is up, and then we have to go through these dumbass bullshits of an election, and then I'm gonna just say this and this is just for anybody. If you really think about it, when Ebola was going around, or Ebola was going around during the Obama 10 year, like he had that shit shut down and made sure like it was only a month of that. Like not that many people died of Ebola or some there are still people catching COVID and dying right now. And then you got all this stuff he done said, like not even just grabbing girls by the pussy, but losing unemployment, saying some of the stupid stuff he said. Might be into sex trafficking for what most people were talking about, and also with like just the regular things he be saying on a day-to-day basis. And then you have people still talking about this man is a good man, this man is a president, this man might do eight and all that other stuff. It's like, do you really want to
That's
go
gonna
through
be the
four?
icing of the cake of how shitty this year has been if Trump gets motherfucking reelected. That's
It's
gonna be the
but
icing on the motherfucking cake.
yeah, that's gonna be ice on the cake. But at the same time, it's like, is this really the guy that you want? And Father, I understand your pain because I don't like Joe Biden either as a candidate. And then on top of that, you have Kamala Harris, where people feel more indifferent about unless you are an Indian woman or a feminist that just want to see a woman president, which I still wouldn't have picked her. There are so many other good candidates, especially for a black woman president. We could have had so many other good candidates, but we're stuck with Kamala Harris, who most people don't even consider her black. And then you got, you know, if you're a sports fan, all your sports has been canceled. The Rock just got the Rona. Wrestling is the only thing that's trying to keep people from not going crazy. While at the same time,
Doing a
Vince
horrible
McMahon is
job
still
at
being
it.
himself. I think Vince McMahon gave The Rock the Rona, but that's just me being stupid. That's just like, yeah. Just,
How
oh,
would
you want to take excess
no?
stuff from me? Here's a Rona.
I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna leave that alone.
That's
I
just
was
me
about to
being
ask a
stupid.
question, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
That's just me being stupid. I obviously don't think Vince McMahon gave him the Rona, but obviously for people, but it can happen for a WWE storyline. But with everything that's been happening, and Mulan is $30 for Disney Plus. It's just like I'm not getting
Yeah,
that shit. I like
you
Mulan,
gonna
but
charge You gonna charge $30 for a movie where you took out my favorite character? Kiss my ass. I want Mushu.
you talking about Mushu?
Yeah, I want Mushu. The fuck.
They got him running up the walls like this crouching tiger, hidden dragon and shit. I was like, this is not quite what I was expected out of
Kiss
Mulan.
kiss my ass.
I just hope there's more action in this one than it was in Mulan,
Well, it's
the
gonna be a
first.
lot of action, but it's like fantasy action. It's not what I was expecting at all from the movie.
I like Cross the Tiger Hidden Dragon. I don't know about you,
Yeah,
but I
I
that,
like
mean,
that
it.
was a mid ass
Crouching
movie.
Tiger, Dragon's good, but I just wasn't expecting that for Mulan though.
Oh,
When I think of
I,
Mulan, I don't think of like flying across the air and running across the walls like you Prince of Persia or some shit. And they ain't just running across it; they was running up the wall with no rope. I was like, damn, what the fuck is this? This my man Crouching Tiger.
Yeah, they going they trying to turn Milan into like a no shit kung fu movie.
Right.
I don't know
yeah.
how well that's gonna go over, but you know, I've been surprised before. I'm not gonna pay the money to see that shit. I'm gonna wait for the social media reviews and whatnot, and see what other people judge it as. I'm not pay. I already paid for the year long fucking Disney Plus subscription. I'm not about to give these niggas another $30 out of money I don't have. Suck.
Right.
every follicle of hair off my left nut. Like
Damn.
that's how I feel about that one, man.
It's like I feel you because it's like everybody already got the app. What's the point? Just put it on there. I said now people now look if you wasn't gonna put $30 for Beyonce, which I think women would have paid for that because Beyonce's a religion. But other than that, I don't know what people doing for Mulan. People would have done it for
Shit.
Beyonce. I don't care what anybody say. I don't know. I just
There was a lot of talk about certain things pertaining to that Black is King movie with Beyonce. A lot of people saying that it was racist and all this other shit. And I didn't watch it for myself, so I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
we talked
But
about that. It was No Name and I don't know. I just look if I'm gonna just keep this one short because I know we already talked about it. Uh, she need to sit her ass down somewhere. That's all I'm gonna just say. Just sit your ass, just sit your ass down somewhere. I don't want to, because I don't want to, because that's another thing. I don't want to like really talk bad about a black woman like Terry Crews and all that other stuff, which is he has been the coon of the fucking 2020
What Terry
already.
Crews?
I've already resigned myself to just pretending Terry Crews don't exist. So change
Say
the subject.
about black woman. So I
No,
ain't.
well, the
That's
thing
why
about
that's yeah.
oh, the thing I was talking about when he kind of like threw Gabrielle Union under the bus about Dancing with the Stars, or was it America's
Yeah.
Got Talent? America's Got Talent. Yeah, when he threw it, the one I was talking about, he threw Gabrielle Union under the bus with America's Got Talent when she was like, there was obviously like racism on the show and all that stuff, and he was like, I didn't see no racism at all. I saw everybody coming together at once. It's just and that was the thing about him and everybody just kind of like rode him, dragged him again. Like he's been getting dragged all fucking 2020. He just can't get himself out of shit. And
He
I like
needs to just
Terry
stay the
Crews.
hell. He just needs to stay off social media.
Yeah,
Stay on
that's what
social
I'm saying.
media. Stop talking. Just disappear for a couple of years to a decade. You know what I'm saying? And just vanish for a little while, bro. That's what the fuck he need to do.
And to wrap this up, I hope the rest of this month goes smoothly. Please, we need it. Just this whole 4 months, just go smoothly,
You
please.
know, as you say that, as you're just saying that right now, protesters got hit with a freaking car in Times Square.
I thought that
What
was
the
old.
fuck?
Oh, that's new.
Yes, it just
I'm
Are
not
you
happened.
saying
laughing
that
at
just
that.
happened?
I'm
Yes.
not laughing. I'm not laughing at that. It's one of those things where it's just like when you tell people what could possibly go wrong, and then someone just give you bad news. That's what I'm laughing at. I'm not laughing at him getting hit by the protester.
It's
You're like, what could go wrong? Damn.
it's it's one of them nigga you just had to say something
Yeah,
type of things.
that's me. I just
You
had to
just,
say
you
some
just
shit.
reminded 2020 of my homework.
You just couldn't shut the fuck up.
I did not. Any matter of fact, anybody got something else to say before we move on to our final thoughts?
May the odds be in your favor.
I just want some money,
Sweet,
man. I'm broke.
sweet blue Jesus, please fix the economy, please. I ain't. I
I
feel so bad,
repeat,
but also I feel sorry for the people that lost their jobs because of the Rona, and it's not their fault, and people still want their money. Like
Right.
I know we talked about this before. I also feel sorry for that because that's stupid. You shouldn't be like getting evicted, especially when some shit was not out of your hands. But America, America. All right, now we're going to go ahead to our final thoughts, and we're going to start with Dion. Capitalism. Thank you.
I repeat, may the odds be in your favor for the remainder of this year. It's it's the it's the fourth quarter of 2020, and Man, we are scoreboard. Man, we're at like a 75 to like 20 deficit.
Mm.
Shining Wolf.
Last thoughts.
Yeah, it could be about anything. You don't have to be about.
Rest in peace, Boswick. I hope they find a suitable person to. I hope they find a suitable person to play Black Panther or T'Challa.
I still think they should do what they did in the comics and, and have Shuri take up the mantle of Black Panther.
I don't, because
I tweeted
I
that
want
out
them to
and I
do
got semi-viral.
I want them to do the whole different arcs of T'Challa, because T'Challa has some interesting arcs. Shuri's stuff was short, very short.
I
Like
just want.
I want to see him beat the Fantastic Four's ass. I want to see him beat Wolverine's ass and the X Men. I want to see him and Storm, get together and do their thing. Unless you want to make Fury a lesbian or some shit, and do Storm and Shuri.
Nah.
It's not going to have the same feel.
I
It's
would
just a,
laugh. I would fucking
I
laugh.
would laugh, but it wouldn't have been what I was picturing. I wouldn't be satisfied with that, like a lot
You
of
know,
people.
you know
It'd
what
be
I
just
think?
like when Niecy Nash got married. I just laugh.
Oh, that was left field as fuck.
Yeah, it was very left field.
That was an RKO. That was out of nowhere.
You want to know what I kind of think though? I kind of think the fact that Black Panther was past Chadwick Boseman what makes it so difficult, because that was literally the perfect Black Panther. You could not get casted any perfect than that. So who's gonna replace that? You know what I'm
Some
saying?
people said Denzel Washington's son,
Who's he? Who he?
Mm,
I don't even know what that is.
John David Washington. If you see that, he's the one in Tenet. He's the black dude in Tenet.
Oh, okay.
mm, I don't know much about him, so
It's Denzel
I
Washington's
can't.
son. That's
But
huh?
but
That don't mean shit.
He can act. The man can act.
this is probably politically incorrect to say. Like Chapman Boswick did a good performance, but they fucked up the role of T'Challa though. They downplayed T'Challa big time.
Why? Why? Because he was like the smartest man on the earth, and
Well,
like Sherry was doing.
he was like Batman smart, if not smarter. They pretty much gave that role to Shuri to have a female do something substantial, pretty much. Uh, he was a very keen martial arts, knew several different martial arts, pretty much most of them, kind of like how Batman. Pretty much he was Marvel's Batman, pretty much, essentially. Very
I
competent,
always thought that was Moon Knight.
very competent, very intelligent, and you couldn't really see much of that in the movie at all, really.
Yeah, this is true. But also about what you're saying about Moon Knight. Black Panther's a little more prominent than Moon Knight, to be honest. So, I mean, Black Panther and Batman is a fair comparison.
Yeah, both rich, both
Yeah,
got gadgets and shit. Both very
yeah.
intelligent, very tactful. Both are master martial artists. Like in the comic books, Black Panther beat Captain America with two punches. Well, a punch and a kick. Very swiftly. He went down. Not much effort on Black Panther's part.
At least he whipped Bucky's ass in Civil War.
Yeah, but they had to try to have T'Challa be head to head with Captain America though. But in the comic books, that's not true. He whooped the shit out of Captain America. Man, he was above Captain America in hand to hand combat.
I remember he like pinched Luke Cage one time and he went down because of his vital errors or some shit like that. I remember that. It's just
Um,
that Black Panther was a bad motherfucker.
Actually, I mean, I wouldn't even call beating Captain America in a fight a major feat anymore. Captain America gets his ass kicked a lot.
In the
yeah,
comics,
in the comics,
Yes.
yeah.
you know better than I do because I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, they made him dope in the movie though.
Oh yeah, he's dope as fuck in the movie. And like even in some comments, like Captain America is dope as fuck. But, yeah. But I know
You know,
I know Spider Man can whip him, but I've also seen Captain America whip
Spidey
Spider
gets
Man.
Spidey gets downplayed. Spidey gets downplayed bad.
Oh yeah, he do.
Because if
Cyclops
you
is
actually
down.
know the comics, like Spider-Man has pulled off some shit.
Oh, I
Spider-Man's
know.
beating Wolverine in a fight of all people, dog. Think about that one.
Well,
Oh, I seen.
Spider Man's more skilled than Captain America in a fight, though.
That spider sense is a motherfucker.
The spider sense allows him the spider sense and that the way of the spider that he develops himself. That
Yeah,
should have him like people who are
but
masters.
then But then all that fighting style is the way of the spider. It's literally all he's doing is making full use of his spider sense. So he
Right,
knows he always knows what's coming at him, and most of the time because it's certain people and certain things that are immune to his spider sense. For example, Venom. He cannot track Venom unless he can physically see him.
right. Spider Man can dodge
So
with an automatic gun.
Oh, I seen him whip. I guess when Kingpin was in prison and he whipped him, and then he was like, he almost like killed him because I think he shot web in his mouth and all that other stuff. And, like,
if I
yeah,
remember
Spider
correctly, I
Man.
think I think Kingpin tried to do something to Aunt May and it pissed him off.
Yeah, he tried to do something to our man. He broke into prison to beat his ass. It's just, I saw that strip. I was like, God damn, where was this Spider Man?
Again,
Comic books in the
Spidey
90s.
gets downplayed so bad.
Comic books in the '90s and the early 2000s was dope as shit. They used to go hard as a motherfucker with their
They
storytelling.
weren't afraid to get graphic.
Yeah, they weren't.
Dude, there's a scene, well, not even a scene, there's a book or whatever where Kingpin's locked up. Kingpin gets gang raped in jail.
I saw that shit.
So as
I saw
revenge,
that too. I
he
saw that.
tracks down the wife of the motherfucker that raped him, gets a bunch of bums and homeless dudes to gang rape and murder this guy's wife while he recorded it. And then sent it the dude in prison for him to see what he did to his wife.
Hmm. Yep. They did Marvel go hard. You couldn't do that these days, so you couldn't get away with that these days.
Kingpin Kingpin was not to be fucked with.
Nope.
Kingpin is easily one of the best villains in any medium, but the comic books and the cartoons and the movies he gets nerfed. Truth be told, no disrespect to Michael Clark Duncan, but I really don't want to talk about the way Kingpin was portrayed in that Daredevil movie. I really don't want to talk about that. But yeah,
He was pretty good and kind of good in what's the giant the Netflix giant.
oh, and the Punisher,
Yeah,
was it Punisher or
Daredevil. I didn't see all
oh.
of them actually. I did. I
Oh
never.
yeah, well, Daredevil, Punisher, and all the Netflix joints, all of those are, coincidentally, all of those are linked to the MCU.
Right.
So, eh. They got that. They can't half-ass that. If all of that, because all of that takes place after the events of the Avengers movie. When after that big battle in New York, where Loki called all them alien shit to New York City and shit.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah,
Uh,
they downplayed T'Challa though. Like, and it's a shame too because Chadwick performance was good. Like his performance was believable and he had the right energy for T'Challa. But they just
It's just a portrayal of how the character itself was written.
right, exactly. It's pretty much whoever the writer is his fault.
Yeah, you gotta work with what you got.
That whole movie was
That's why as shitty as that Catwoman movie was, I don't place that blame on Halle Berry.
no, I don't know.
I don't think Okoye gets enough love because I always thought she was like one of the best parts in that movie too. But maybe it's just me because I love Okoye in that movie.
What movie?
Black Panther. The right hand woman,
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
the one Michonne played, one played by Michonne.
yeah. The problem with those Disney movies, though, is those Disney movies are comedies more. They're comedies and they're action movies. They're popcorn films. So I don't think the
True.
characters get as much depth as they could otherwise get.
Maybe yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's like if a lot in the comics, Shuri. Let's just say like they go with Shuri as the Black Panther. I want to see Okoye, maybe because I think she's like really good. And then like I liked her in both the Black Panther and in the Civil War and I mean Infinity War and Endgames, especially like when the Hulk was in the Hulkbuster and he fell, and then she gave him this look like a disgust. That's like I thought that was hilarious. And then when Scarlet Witch did the thing, she was like, "Bitch, why couldn't you do that in the first place?" Like she was my favorite. She was literally my favorite throughout that movie, other than T'Challa. But is that it, Shiny Wolf? That's your final say, final
Yep,
thought.
that's my final. Yeah.
All right, Father.
Um, I guess my final word would be 20. I mean, we only got like 4 months of 2020 left, and every month felt like a century. Honestly, like it's still so much longer than it needs to be. Like I still can't even believe we're in September, bro. These are real tough times. But
Shit. I got a
like,
birthday
Every
coming
month
up,
you
and
gotta
I
feel
and
like
I'm
you
not even
made
gonna be
it.
able to enjoy it.
right,
It's like every month I feel like I made it. It's like I
right,
made it.
literally.
And I was to me it was just like let me get to my birthday. Once I got to my birthday, I was like, yes, I made it. Now it's just like let me get to the end of the year. It's just let me please.
Yo, nah, but I just feel like this whole year, like the world's on punishment, bruh. Especially the U.S. The U.S. is especially on punishment. We've been kind of feeling ourselves a little bit too much. And to think all this shit happened while Trump is president. Niggas was right to fucking cry when he got elected. Yeah, shit.
This is so all this is punishment for Trump making it into the damn presidency.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like God was like, I didn't know y'all niggas was this dumb.
That and the cucumber challenge. And the cucumber that's a whole
He about to
lord.
flood. You gonna start another flood and keep it up.
A flood?
You gonna start another flood and keep it up. You like, all right, these niggas.
Shut up, shut up.
Oh no.
It's
It's fine. It's
it's
gonna be
raining.
fire
It's
this time.
nigga. No. Listen, it's raining now. Shut up.
We
It
got
is.
fire
It is.
tornadoes. I ain't even mentioned the fire tornadoes.
leave, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Shut up. We don't need nothing else. Just
Lord,
shut up before you jinx us. Shut up.
All right. Is that your final word, Father?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Just, hang in there, please. I don't feel like we almost there, but we almost there.
Okay. All right. A couple things. One, Sister Sister is on Netflix. I'll be able to do a review on that soon. I'm on season 4 now, and they're like 6 seasons, so I've been binge watching this. Sister Sister is actually funnier than as an adult to me than as a kid for some reason. I don't know why,
Probably
but
is.
Because you understand more of what's going on in the show now.
yeah. But even then, there's some kids humor in there that it was like, wow, this is pretty funny. But you're probably right. Also, fucking Nintendo. I'm really disappointed. I've been asking for a Super Mario 64 remake, and you just give me a HD version that of the same game that I want to
It's
play.
not even in Mario
Hey,
64.
It's not even HD.
It's not even widescreen. It's not even in widescreen. It's in the same 4:8.
I'll take it. I don't give a fuck at this point. I'll
No,
take it.
no, I wanted a remake. Crash Band. And the funny thing is, Shiny Wolf just put this as a post. Crash Bandicoot remade 3 games from scratch, and it looks good. And plus, they come out with it. All I want, you didn't even have to remake Sunshine or Galaxy 64. That's all I wanted. Is to just remake that game and all that other stuff. Is
The
like
only
I
thing
couldn't get
I'm
a remake of it.
and it's 60
I
bits.
ain't never been so excited and so disappointed at something in my time. I
Right.
don't like that Mario Kart shit. Is just like, wow, this looks fun, but it feels like I will play it for like a week and never touch this again.
Man, listen. The only thing I'm personally like even sad about with everything they're releasing for Super Mario, okay, it's two things. Number one, I wish they would have given us Super Mario Galaxy 2 in that
Right.
package.
Right.
And also for the one service with the Super Nintendo games for the on the Switch. I'm glad they gave us Super Mario All Stars to a degree, just because I liked having like the updated graphics and stuff when that was first on the Super Nintendo. However, I want Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars.
That's Nintendo said never. That's what Nintendo says to you.
Yeah, they said
Never.
never to that. First of all, okay, I don't mind the Super Mario fucking battle royale, but why can't I get the All Star version, not the original version? Why don't we ever get the Super
We
Mario
get, I
All Star
mean,
version of the original one?
I
Like
mean,
I'd rather play that one instead of the original Nintendo one. Maybe it's just me because I love the
They're
way
just
that
trying to be
looked.
nostalgic with that. That's what they're
oh,
doing.
that it was gorgeous. I'm already shoot. I'm already about to beat Super Mario, the original Super Mario Brothers on Mario All Stars. I downloaded it earlier and I'm already at the end of World 7. I'm about to finish that motherfucker off tomorrow and then start on Lost Levels.
Oh, have fun with Lost Levels because that game's a bitch. Fuck that game.
Play as
I
Luigi.
ain't,
That's
I
all I'm gonna
ain't,
say. Play as Luigi for the extra jump height. You're going to need it.
no, no. Luigi is slippery. Look, here's the thing about you ever. I don't know,
Okay,
Chris.
but
You ever wonder why Luigi has no traction? It's because of that fucking game. Yes, he jumps higher, but he has no fucking traction. And the fucking
that
I keep
again,
telling
the
people,
the way that game is set up, that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I know how to control him.
look, Luigi, look. I keep telling people, Luigi is the harder version of that fucking game. He is not the easy version. He's the hardest version. He jumps
I,
and he jumps really fucking high, but is really slow, and he has no traction. That is really. It's like when I figured out Turtles in Time. That my even though my favorite character is Raphael, he is the worst out of the four, and it's done on purpose because it's for veteran players. You know, I thought they all had the same stats, but you kind of realize they don't. And I said, okay,
Yeah.
how is Raphael?
They
He's like he got a bunch of speed, but he can't fucking has no power. I was like, this is bullshit. They gave all that to Mikey.
yeah. In the remake, they show you the stats. Remember the remake on Xbox
yeah,
360?
I mean, shit. You
Fuck
ever been
that
hit with
remake.
nunchucks?
Yeah, fuck that remake because that shit disappointed me too. Oh god, never. I've been such disappointed at a bad game that I love. And but yeah, Nintendo, y'all, I don't know. Y'all giving us a lot for that, and I think that's why. But at the same time, y'all dropped the ball because what people wanted, you didn't give them. The same thing with like Final Fantasy VII. Like you gonna give us a HD port instead of the fucking game, and then the next year you do give us the game and shit. This is like I want it. That's what. But that's just me, and that's just my gripes with Nintendo. Uh,
I'm just glad we're getting something because there's been. Man, again, we just had an entire conversation about how bad the year has been. So any ray of light that anyone can give us, you know what? I'm not gonna motherfucking complain. I will take it with a motherfucking grain of salt. I don't give a fuck anymore.
I guess.
like, but I don't really matter that much to me because I got my PC port of Mario 64 and they modded the fuck out of that joint. That joint is playing in modern graphics now. They
Yeah, I was
remodel
about to.
characters. Like I can look it up. Look up Mario PC mod graphics, and they remodeled every character in that game.
Yeah, I was about to say if y'all really instead of just buying that anniversary collection, might as well just get a port of just Super Mario 64 where it's modded and all graphics out. You might as well just get that.
Man, y'all ungrateful.
If you want Mario Galaxy, you could get it for that, or Mario Sunshine, you can get it for that. But
Okay,
I got an emulator to play those games pretty perfectly though. So
Man,
it's
don't.
y'all
not that
ungrateful. That's all I got to
it's
say
not
about that.
no, it's not that I'm grateful. I feel look if Sony or
I'm
if
not grateful. I'm just not necessary for me.
Square Enix remakes Final Fantasy VII, even though it's like one fucking eighth of the game, really. But like they do that shit for Midgard and all that stuff. You don't think you could do that for a fucking 20-year-old game? It came out in '96, right? Well,
Yeah.
yeah, about 25 years old. I think that game's about 25 years old. My math is off, but
24.
yeah. All right, and Crash Bandicoot, like they remake all three Crash Bandicoot, and that looks good. You don't think I could get at least a remake version of your oldest game? Hell, at least when they did Super Mario All Stars, they remade all the sprites for
Yeah,
Nintendo. You don't think we should be getting that?
everything in that game, and Mario also they
Yeah.
made.
They even made in Super Mario World. They even made Luigi look like Luigi.
Right. He was tall, long neck, long face.
Right. So you don't think we deserve at
Facts.
least that? It's not that I'm saying I'm grateful, but your fans deserve it.
I mean, we have so many ports of Mario 64 though. Like, I think they re-released Mario 64 on almost every system except for maybe the game.
and this is why Mario Maker. That's why they made Mario Maker because they were sick and tired of people playing Kaiser Mario, taking their fucking ideas that you know what, we'll just make a game where you just say fuck
Oh,
it, just make your
yeah.
levels.
Hey, Mario Maker is fun as fuck.
Well,
Don't sleep on Super Mario
I love
Maker. That
Mario
shit is
Maker.
fun as fuck.
I love Mario Maker, but Mario Maker was basically made because mods was making it, and they said, why aren't we getting into this money?
Wait, you have a Switch?
You no, but I play
Oh, I
Mario
was about to
Maker.
say. Oh, 'cause I was about to say, I can show you some of the levels I made on that motherfucker. You gonna hate me?
Oh no, I've made levels and I've put them on Twitch. And me and Wallace, we done watched many people try my levels and fail
One of them
hilariously.
got real mad at it. He said, who the fuck made this?
Who the fuck?
Actually, shit, I need to
It
check
took
my.
me 50 tries to beat it. And the thing is, my levels, it wasn't that hard. It was just like, if you fuck up once, you die.
Shoot, I need to see this for myself. I bet I could beat him.
Okay. All right. They're on my friend's week because he had it. And I specifically made it for him to piss him off and it worked. So I was like,
Oh,
And it pissed him off too.
it pissed him off.
well,
And then like
yeah,
one of my levels, and this is like a quick story, and I'll in this podcast, like one of the dudes I went to school with, I made one for his level too, and I told him, look, just when you take it home, go online and beat it because you have to go online and beat it to put it online. And he was
yeah.
like, "Hey," he said, "Oh, Ray, I can't beat it. I guess you're gonna have to come over my house and beat it for me." And I looked at him. I said, "I am a grown ass man. The fuck do I look like going to your house? And you're going to give me your system, and I will take it to my house, and I will beat it and give it back to you." And that's what he did. I was,
He
So
asked
what
the
was
The
grown
before
ass man if
fuck.
he
before
wanted
he
to come
joined
over
after he
his
joined the
house.
Oh man.
this is like the fuck do I look like? I barely know you, and I'm not.
He said, I'm not too comfortable, bro.
It was the way he asked me too. It's like, I guess you have to come over my house and play the game.
It's like it's a damn
Mm.
sickness.
I was like, this shit you ask women. I don't know. Me, it's just like you ask a woman this. You don't ask no dude this. But
Shit.
on that on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and end this podcast. I would like to thank everybody that jumped on the panel. I would like to thank for y'all listening to hear us talk our shit again. This is you know what. Let me just say podcast, and we signing out. Peace.
Yep.